I'm behind some apartment buildings of the next city over from where I live, okay? And right as I'm about to film, this couple walks. I'm in a secluded spot in a parking lot. It's kind of near like a daycare, but in between some businesses, and it's empty because it's after business hours. All right, and right as before I'm about to film, this couple going for a walk. They walk out of nowhere. Like usually I notice people, but this couple walks out of nowhere, and so I'm thinking to myself, invaders, you know. But I just thought that was interesting because I picked this spot specifically because I knew I've been here before and there's never any people. So my guess is that they probably saw me from the window back there and then they decided to go for a walk or something. But it's crazy how that works. But anyway, today I want to get real about usually I talk about things that are on my mind, and I'm gonna make another video about that. But right now for this video specifically, I'm gonna talk about myself. All right, and be sure to like the video, or you can leave a comment, and we all like it when you subscribe. So if you think this video is gonna resonate with you, go ahead and do that. But today I'm going to talk about myself, okay? So it's time to get real with y'all for a minute. The past, since 2024, I think my awakening has become more relevant. And see, I'm not going to show it on the camera here because I got you guys set up right here in a perfect spot, but there's another invader right here driving by in a Kia Sorento. There's usually no people around here ever. And right as I get here, people just start pulling up. People walk out of nowhere. I don't understand. It's no big deal, but I like being alone. I like to film videos for y'all and for myself too when there's nobody around, because I'm not in a city, and that's different if I'm walking around with the camera, but I'm not I don't really do that. But anyway, I'm getting off topic here. So since 2024, I'd say since around maybe September, October, so almost 2 years ago, I really started to have this awakening where I started to realize what it's actually like entering manhood, and dealing with my energy and my sexual energy, my physical energy. I started to try and take care of myself more and treat myself more, and become the parent to myself that I've never had, because that's very important. If you had parents that maybe they didn't take care of your needs as much as they should have, it's very important. Doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, it's very important to heal, and that's how you heal, is you pretty much become the parent that you never had. All right, so around that time frame, I really started to awaken, take better care of myself, and that's when I started having trouble with jobs, and I became more spiritually aware, very aware of what I was doing with my time, very aware of how my worldview and my attitude when I approach the world and I approach people in this society, in the community. And that's when I started having trouble with jobs, all right? And that's when I began to realize, this is why I've never really had success at work. This is why I've never had success in social groups or at school, socially. I'm a smart guy, but I've never had success with fitting in with groups and, becoming friends with teachers and professors. That's never been my strength. I've tried, and it just never works out. For some reason, it's just, something doesn't, the frequencies don't match, or they feel like they can't I'm too much for them, all right, whoever I'm trying to interact with. And so since 2024, I began to embrace that if I'm too much, I'm too much. That's fine. And that's also when I started having trouble with jobs. I quit my barista job. I'd been there for 7 years. I quit that job because I didn't get a promotion. I was passed on a promotion twice, and the environment was really toxic. And I was hearing through the grapevine that customers didn't, not that I care, but to make a long story short, customers didn't like me for whatever reason. So I quit that job. I gave notice. My manager, the only reason I stayed because I had a really great manager, all right, and he moved to New York, but he was there and then he left, and a new manager took his place. I stayed there for another 4 or 5 months, and that's when I quit. Then I worked for a grocery store. That was great. I worked there for 10 months, almost a year. But it was getting to a point where I would show up to work and the spiritual warfare was too much. It was, not that I couldn't handle it. It's just, it gets to a point when, you just know that you don't want to be there anymore. And I'm sure if you're, maybe some of you have been through this before. Okay. So it became too much. I left. I quit that job too. I quit that job, and then I asked them a month later. I still am. I'm on good terms with one of the managers there, and I have her personal phone number. So I texted her. I think I called her actually. I left her a message and I said, "Hey, I know I quit, but is there any chance I could come back and try again?" And she called me back a few days later and said, "Yeah, we still have you in the system actually. You can come back. It's fine." And so even though I was, I quit, so they cut they terminated me because I quit, right? It's basically voluntary termination when you quit a job, all right? And so they had me in the system still. So I came back, they gave my badge, my name tag back, and then I worked there for, I'm not even kidding, I'd say another 2 months, and then I quit for good. Because I thought that by getting a month break, they needed people, and that's probably why she said I can come back. Plus I'm a really good worker, so she probably saw that I really, was trying. And she let me come back. I worked there for 2 months. Nothing changed. The environment actually was worse for me. And so I quit for good. Then I got a job at a gas station. I worked there for 5-6 months. That job was good. I got passed up on a promotion. I was hired as a ASM. But when I signed the paperwork and I was about to sign it, the people that hired me said that you're going to start out as a cashier, and then we're going to work you up to the lead, and then you're going to be an ASM because we need ASM. And this was coming directly from the district manager, his mouth. He said, "Yeah, we need ASMs." And I said, "Yo, I can do the job, man." So he said, "All right, you gotta start as a cashier. We'll work you up." Turns out they give another coworker up the promotion. We had a group chat. My store manager, she texted everyone and said, "This person is the ASM now." And I remember staring at my phone, saying like, "Why am I not surprised?" So I stayed there for a month after that. After I was not promoted, and the store closed, or the store was gonna close. So they were saying that you have to find another location to work at. So if you want to stay here, you got to reapply to this location. And knowing that I wasn't gonna probably get that promotion, I pretty much decided not to reapply, or not to transfer, because all of us had to transfer if we wanted to stay there. So I left that job too. That store closed. It's no longer the business that it was. So that was kind of, I'd say that was God's will in a way, or the universe. But at the same time, it was a bummer because I actually liked that job pretty good. It was quiet and stable. All right. I was without a job for 3 months after that. I went to numerous interviews. I interviewed at lots of businesses, all minimum wage jobs, obviously. All right, because I'm a student, I'm a college student, and I got stood up. I got rejected multiple times. I got stood up 3 or 4 times, and I applied to Pizza Hut, and the guy said, "I'll email you tomorrow. We want you to work here." He never emailed me, so I went in to the Pizza Hut location. This was 2 cities from where I live, and he said, "Yeah. Wait here. Let me go see if they emailed you." And he came back and said, "So actually, he was a manager, and he said that the ASM's supposed to email me." I said, "Okay," and he's like, "Yeah. We'll email you within 2 days. Don't worry." So I left Pizza Hut, the building. I give him 2 days. I pick up the phone 2 days later and I call and I say, "Hey, this is Jeff. I had to interview with his name." And I say, "Hey, the ASM, I think I'm pretty sure I was hired. He said they want me to work there, and I'm waiting on an email so I can get my onboarding here and get orientation." They said, "You're not in our system." And so this I don't remember her name, but she was a female, the ASM. She basically said, "Okay, I'll talk to him," the manager that hired me, interviewed me. So I give them another 2 days. I hear nothing. I call back, and an associate picks up, like some, just a normal worker. She says she's gonna go get the ASM, the lady, right? The lady gets on the phone and acts like she doesn't know me. So that was another thing that happened. This was last year. So fast forward to now, I got hired at Target, and I'd previously worked at Target a long time ago, but this was a different location that I got hired at. And I really liked the work. I was a drive-up Kirby, and I liked the work. Sometimes they pulled me out to put me on the cashier. That was cool too. People were cool. I had no beef with anyone, no problems with anyone, no problems with the gay people, no problems with the, old people, no problems with the high schoolers. I was chill, because that's who I am. I'm chill, easygoing. All right. Then the games started to happen, and this happened when I worked at the grocery store. A whole bunch of games, all right? I got orange juice right here for later. And the games after games, like they would say that my performance wasn't good, so then I was on probation, all right? Which is 90 days. I worked there for 1 month and they fired me because I had 3 performance reviews, and they said that after 3 performance reviews, technically we're supposed to fire you. But then after the 3rd performance review, they said, you gotta really step it up, Jeff. I said, "Okay, I'm trying my best. Like, I will work my ass off. I got you." All right. And so they didn't fire me yet, but then what happened was, like, I had a little spat, I guess, with an older female coworker. She was like in her 50s or 60s. And I'm not going to get into detail, but I just think that, I don't tolerate disrespectful behavior, and so I stood up for myself, all right? And then this happened in front of a supervisor. So it was in the same room as a supervisor. And the supervisor saw the whole thing and heard it and went off and basically bear false witness on me, saying I said a bad word when I didn't. And so HR got involved, and then I came into work one day and they said that "You're not working today. Give us your badge. You're fired." And I said, "All right, cool," because I already knew that, like, with all the games being played, I kind of saw this coming. Here's the thing, guys. When you work a job and people play games with you, if you don't quit, they're going to try and get you fired. And that's what happened to me. That's why I didn't resist. I didn't care. I just took I took my protein bar, because I brought a protein bar that day. I gave them my walk-in, and I took my protein bar to the locker, and I just said thank you, and I just left. Because they fired me. They weren't gonna let me work there. So yeah. So now I'm looking for another job, knowing very well that it's probably not going to work out. But so I got a text from Walmart saying that "We have an overnight position for you. available? Are you interested? Do you want to interview? So I texted them back and I said, hey, all right, when's the interview? Like, okay, I'm interested. So that's been my employment history for the past year and a half. All right, almost 2 years. Actually, it's probably like around 2 years. And well, actually further than that, because I work at Starbucks as a cashier for almost 7 years. No, over 7 years. Because I was in high school and then I kept that job because they paid for part of my college, and then I quit, and then I paid for the rest of my college out of pocket. And then I had a couple investments I used to help pay for that too. But anyways, that's what I want to talk about. That's I'm getting real right now. That's what's been happening with me. That's what I've been up to. You know, I haven't been going to work because obviously I don't have a job. I'm looking for a job and making these videos on the side, and also I'm in school as well. I don't want to give that up because I'm almost done with my bachelor's degree, so I have to finish it, you know. But yeah, that's what's been going on with me. And you know, I fixed my car. I when I haven't been studying, I've been doing some work. Like, I have more time on my hands, so I've been exercising more. I've been taking care of myself. I fixed my car. I had like brake problems. It had spark plug issues. I put those in. It had something wrong with the vehicle speed sensor, so I changed that out. And then I cleaned it out. You know, it's an old car. It's older than me. And I was born in the 90s. So, you know, it's all part of God's plan. It's God's will. I'm very grateful for everything I have. I'm grateful for my cell phone that I can film with right now. You know, this is a iPhone. It's not cheap. Grateful for my car. I'm grateful for, you know, everything I have. I'm grateful for this. You know, I'm grateful for, you know, that I have a roof over my head right now. And because it's temporary. It's not going to last forever. And I'm enjoying the day. The sun is setting. It's just, you know, when things happen, like I said in the beginning, the most important thing here is the message that God's trying to tell me is that I need to focus on myself, but at the same time not be so like attached to outcomes and attached to myself, but more of like trying to reparent myself. So if you want to take away anything from this video, if you're still watching this right now, today I urge you to be the parent to yourself that you never had. Please, if you're doing something right now, they don't tell you this, but do the bare minimum, all right? Don't stress yourself, whatever you're doing. Do the bare minimum. Just enough to get the good grades. Just enough to, you know, get the job done at work. Because if you work hard like me, you're going to get fired. If you slack, they're going to find a reason to fire you too. If you're a perfect worker, I know some of you watching are really, really, like, perfect people almost. And, you know, put together, you have your life in order. All right, you're good at your work. People really like you, you know. But even then, people, if they're jealous of you, they're going to try to get you to quit. And if you don't quit, they're going to fire you. That's what happened to me, I think. Because before I got these performance reviews at Target, all right, they were like different people were coming at me with different things. And my intuition, my gut was saying, and my heart and my head were saying that this isn't right. Like, these people aren't your friend. But anyways, I've been rambling for way too long. This video is like 20 minutes. Thanks for tuning in.